Yeah, man, lonesome. Alive? Yeah, and I'm up. All right, so, yeah, man, I have to come today. Instead of 7 o'clock show, I have to do the 8 o'clock show. Because, when we hear the commissioner make some speech or interview, I have to, say, I am here, I have to dissect it. Because we have to hold him foot to the fire, Because them man are them responsible for OJ safe run and the crime and what go down on the portfolio, And him himself got talk. So him did on a program today. Yeah, me draw it up because I want to hear where I send the program. So we have to listen the great GUGU Gaga closely When I listen this live, we have to listen him, closely. Yeah, we have to listen him clearly for what I say. See? So I hear what him say, what him achieve from him take over the commissioner, for him turn the commissioner of police in 2018, I think, when him come in March. But I could listen him keenly. I can play this now. I want to hear him keenly. From where I say, somebody send something, Sir Gooks, to me, and like, you talk about the crime, and that's nice and everything, but we want some, we want results, and then, like a finger job, and they must say, but loan so much so like him a finger job at yourself. I must say, depends where you're set and, and comments and Googs, now watch that, man, but if you just keep your foot to the fire. And this is what the media is supposed to do. Like, all right, you see, like what the son them that do all the queen and the family of the queen and the politician them and the same thing, my platform I do right now, Googs. Hold you accountable, You see me I say? Yeah, man. Him that for resign long time, okay. So me could hear what GUGU say. Me could just listen good. Hear this.
We have in our studios the Commissioner of Police in Jamaica, Major General Anthony Anderson. He has been in this job since March 18, 2018.
So, me could just take some note here. Because I dissect him thing when I want to play him too much. So, March 18, 2018. We want the murder rate from March 8, from the whole of March. So we know it's a couple January, February, March 18. Nearly half of March. March 15, you don't know it's a half. So nearly half of March and the whole of the year. 1 year, when take on how much they done, where am I going with, right? So March 18, 2018. Just listen good.
3 years. And this morning, for the last several mornings, several weeks, Jamaicans have been waking up to just more and more bad news when it comes to crime. In between, some gleam of hope that find at the Stadium East Field yesterday afternoon could be significant.
So it's just some playing that, some glimmer of home. Jamaica is a big place. You go to Stadium East and you find a couple gun. But thousands of them come in. I hear a glimmer of hope. So that now, we call that now, some damage control. We know that, we know that. So we could go and listen. Some glimmer of hope.
But the realities are, in terms of the numbers, in 2018, when General Anderson assumed the job, we had 1,287 murders. The following year, it increased marginally to just under 4%, 1,339.
So him did have, when him get the job, him have 1,800. Let me just hear that again. Because I hear where my answer and say, let me just hear that again. 1,000 much?
It was almost flat, an increase of just about 1.1%. 1,000.
Hold on. Go back a little bit.
For the day.
Experience.
No, go back up. Why you going this?
So,
then download the pod.
All right. So I could go back here. So
is the trigger point for Jamaicans. Yes, it has been for the better part of 30, 40 years.
Yes.
That has been the one that unnerves us.
Yes.
So many people are dying.
More tell him the thing.
Jamaicans have been waking up to just more and more bad news when it comes to crime. In between, some glimmer of hope
Glimmer.
that find at the Stadium East Field yesterday afternoon.
So that a glimmer of hope. We have 14 parishes and things, and Stadium Field and East Kingston there, so that you have different communities. You make a fine, and him said the glimmer of hope that. Yeah? I'm going to hear him.
Could be significant. But the realities are, in terms of numbers.
Numbers. We don't use pen and paper.
In 2018, when General Anderson assumed the job,
yes,
we had 1,287 murders. The following year,
so it was 1,287 when him come in and take the job. 1,287. 1,287. Right? So I could hear the following year, 2019.
it increased marginally to just under 4%. 1,339.
So 1,002, much would I say, 2 that, and 1,300. So it increased, gone up, right? All right. I could hear again.
Murders. 2020, it was almost flat, an increase of just about 1.1%. 1,323.
1,323.
It went actually decline, just under 1%.
But it not decline for me to take the job because of 1,200 and that. So anything under anything over 1,003 or something, it up the same way. But I could go on here. Why you GUGU Gaga say?
And then last year, we saw a surge, 1,463.
1,463.
10%.
Yeah.
My question to you, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Cliff, and good morning to your listeners.
Good. When you took this job, murders were always the trigger point for Jamaicans. Yes, it has been for the better part of 30, 40 years.
Yes.
That has been the one that unnerves us.
Yes.
So many people are dying. Yes? You are 3 years into the job. When are you going to start showing the results that this is going down?
Okay, Cliff. Thanks for that, and I'm glad you actually started with a historical perspective. So, remember, 2018 followed 2017.
No, sir. 2017 followed 2018, right? 2018 followed 2017. Eh? Also, 2017 followed 2018. I'm the 2018 followed 2017, right? 2017 then 2018, right? So I'm saying 2018 followed 2017. So remember talk back where like what the commissioner talk because I know say I do them thing here. So let me hear him again. In 2017 follow 2018, right? Can you follow 2018? 2021 follow 2022. Yeah? All right. So let me hear him again.
Is the trigger point for Jamaicans. Yes? It has been for the better part of 30, 40 years.
Yes.
That has been the one that unnerves us.
Yes.
So many people are dying. Yes? You are 3 years in.
So 2017 followed by 2018. Eh? No?
To the job.
Eh?
When are you going to start showing the results that this is going down?
Okay, Cliff. Thanks for that, and I'm glad you actually started with a historical perspective.
Yes.
So, remember, 2018 followed 2017.
It followed 2017.
In 2017, the murders had increased steadily from 2015, 16, 17, up to 1,640 murders in 2017.
The man asked him about him job. So you what am I saying about him job? Because some of the police have to leave because of that. All right? Yeah.
In 2018, we put in some measures, and this when I came we put them in January. I came in March. We were still trending a little bit.
So we put them in January. I came in March. So you put them in January and came in March, right? All right. You just listening, you know. You just hear what I say, you know.
So remember, 2018 followed 2017. In 2017, the murders had increased steadily from 2015, 16, 17, up to 1,640 murders in 2017. In 2018, we put in some measures, and it's when I came we put them in January. I came in March. We were still.
So he never did it when him put them in January, right? But we put them in January and then him came in March. And that him say? And that him say, right? All right. We're sure that him say. But him come March the 18th, right? All right. So we put them, we put them in, and then I came in March. Okay.
So remember, 2018 followed 2017. In 2017, the murders had increased steadily from 2015, 16, 17, up to 1,640 murders in 2017. In 2018, we put in some measures, and it's when I came we put them in January. I came in March.
So they put them in January, and I came in March. We put them in January. You never did it in January. But anyway, you just go and listen to me now.
We were still trending a little bit above at that time what was happening in 2017. Remember, 1,641.
Now I'm not to do them.
We implemented some very public, obvious measures to bring.
So implemented some very public, obvious measures to bring it down. All right.
Bring down murders.
To bring down murders.
And they followed two schemes.
What kind of scheme?
One that was the continuation of something that started late 2017 that we had been working on separately.
Man, I can't go in the bushy. That we have been continuation of that we have been working on separately. Where am I working?
That was the zones of special operations. By 2018, at the beginning of 2018, it was clear that whereas the zones of special operations were effective because the high concentration of assets in a small space,
it's effective.
So they reduced violent crime, murder, particularly in that space.
In that space.
It wasn't impacting in the wider space.
So it wasn't impacting in the wider space. So the wider space are outside of the Zozo. So me just hear what I'm saying. Not hear what I'm saying. Come like listen to man and sometimes I'm talk. At
the beginning of 2018, it was clear that whereas the zones of special operations were effective because of the high concentration of assets in a small space. So they reduced violent crime, murder, particularly in that space.
In that space.
It wasn't impacting in the wider space. So it was happening outside of the zone. What
do you mean by it never impacting the wider space? It was happening outside. Outside of the zone of the wider space. So or you say it happening outside of the zone. I don't understand this. I don't understand this in a Google. When you can't help me dissecting, me tired, you know. Yeah, man. Me dissecting, me tired, man. Yeah? So, inside of the zone, him say it happen outside of the wider space. And then something about the zone. I don't understand that. Let me hear it.
For a couple of decades. Too long. On implementing it, we saw, especially in the main area of concern, which was St. James. St. James
is the trigger point for Jamaicans.
Had a 4% increase. A similar thing, so when we got those instituted, they lasted through the remainder of 2019 into 2020. 2020, as you know, coming up to the general elections, we ended it. We had enough momentum to still get a decrease in 2020. After that, it has not been available. Now, I want to make a big up. This is one tool in a toolbox. So one tool is a state of public emergency. It's designed specifically to reduce violence.
So state of public emergency designed specifically for, we know state of public emergency. So right now can reduce the violence. No, what makes so much violence go on? Because we still have them. You have them for like 2 years. And you say it reduced violence and it did sign. And man, you can't talk some things. Maybe just say what I again. Say, you see when them do, this is about happened to Google, you know, this is about happened to you, know, you have to stop do this kind of, and then you have some people who want to give you the shield and want to do the, you know, the, what they call it, you know.
4%.
Back them about Google, you know.
A similar thing, so when we got those instituted, they lasted through the remainder of 2019 into 2020. 2020, as you know, coming up to the general elections, we ended it.
Yes.
We had enough momentum.
What kind of momentum?
Still get a decrease in 2020.
Stops a decrease because when you come in, you have 1,278. And everything at 1,300 and something, 1,300 and something, and 1,400 and add. So you say still get a decrease. And you have the whole of this and it still go up. Still a climb. After you spend billions of dollars. What you tell me say? You come in, the fuckest people, him get it at 1,278 when him in from March, go down. 1,278, something like that, right? And then everything at 1,300 and add 300 to 1,460 add. And nearly go 1,400 and nearly 1,500. And the man still tell me about get this decrease and I tell you about state of emergency and so. Nothing for talk.
After that, it has not been available. No.
What not been available? Him stop it. The Zozo him attack and state of emergency. It have not been available. This attack? Come on.
I want to make a bigger point. This
Bigger
is
point?
one tool in a toolbox. So one tool is a state of public emergency. It's designed specifically to reduce violence.
Yeah, this is me to come for talk about. This is me to come for talk about. A friend, yeah man, they see them dead if it does go and clear him, you know. And this don't make no sense. This man should have get fired long time. And a joke me I make put police with the police in. When I get a speech writer, I do something. I run to him for this don't make no sense.
And in particular murders.
Murders in particular.
Yeah. When I put name out a particular murder, crime a crime. So hear this, I bet a man thief, I bet fruit. More than where I get murder. So nobody say the particular murder. Make sense to you? I want to Google, man.
The zone of special operations is another tool. It is designed specifically.
So I don't know real normal policing. So designed that for you, soldier and thing, the public state of emergency and zone of special operations. So we don't do community policing and nothing at all. When them attack a foolishness, that means there is no plan. Nothing at all.
To create the conditions that a community can have an intervention and develop itself and be.
So if that did work, it work in West Kingston. Going to lift it up, it's still a work, gunshot, still fire and thing. Don't I have more people dead more right now. I must have the most killing right now. I'm going to play it when I'm done. Because I'm it off prime time news since night. So I'm going to play that. But I'm going to hear what I say.
Developed. To remove some of the conditions that lend itself to increased violence in the long term, medium term.
So people, what the condition? If you move a zinc fence, but my hungry same way, no job, unemployment down there, the road now fixed, you have the water, you have the light and nothing. Wait though, when you move the zinc fence and put up the block, that move the condition, so we can see over a block, over a wall, people are sick. I'm going to hear him.
Long term. The other tools we have are how we approached gang investigations and how we sought to get gangs before the courts.
That is not a tool. The other tool where we investigate gang. It's not a tool. That's just policing. And then if you catch anything, they're a tool you have. I'm going to hear him.
Mantle the gang as an organization as opposed to just getting a gangster convicted on a predicate offense. And we still have the impact of that. The cases are still going through. And we learn from...
We still have the impact of that. The cases are going through and we learn. A PR, he might do for that one, then I push something there, but the PR not good. The PR, I mean, I know how much money I run, but the PR not good neither.
Each case, so that we can make the next case better. Because until you test the act and you hear the judgment and you read the judgment.
Until I test the act and I hear the judgment and test the act and hear the judgment and read the judgment, what am I say? What this man I say?
You don't know what to adjust. So we've been adjusting.
You don't know what to adjust. We've been adjusting.
Along with the prosecutors. But just running this case.
We've been adjusting along with prosecutors. Till you hear the act, read the act, you don't know what to adjust. We've been adjusting along with prosecutors. What am I say? Well, they not stop interview this man and make him go about him. Put him for retirement, man.
One gang case takes 50 members to support it.
Yeah, the man. One gang case take 50 members to support it. My Christ. No, man, we're not going to get nothing better.
Every time it's active, that pulls 50 people from CTOC and some specialized units to support it.
And you don't have enough.
Yeah, there. You put 50 people. Then a gang you go out for, we have 12,000 people. So if you have one gang, it's a gang. It's a group of people and a one. So if you don't have nobody, that means you can't solve crime then. If you tell me, say you have a gang with 30 people who go deal, but they have 50 people for support where you deal with. It's good. You say you don't have enough and this and you go around, this and go around. Give real police work for the man. When the man that's a PR stunt, and the PR now work right.
Enough of those.
No, of course not. We've been building it. And so here's the point.
See it? PR stunt.
There's a quick way of doing it, and there's a slower way of doing it. We're doing it the slower way.
Yeah, here's the point. There's a quick way of doing it, and there's a slower way of doing it. If you can do something quick and you get a result, and you bring down the murder rate and everything, and you do it within laws, you're good. So why not do it the slower way? Where am I saying that make no sense? Where am I saying that make no sense? But you talk about the Zozo when you lock up people for 2 years. I'm gonna go on and the PR business now work.
Why not the quicker way?
Because we don't have those tools.
Okay.
Right.
So when you tell me say you have a quicker way, yeah, you know. Once a quicker way to do it and a slow way. And when they ask him, when they do it, the quicker way, because he don't have no tool. So when you tell me about the quicker and the slower way, and hold on. So all the thing with the government buy, you don't have the tool for do it the quicker way? This is a joke. Let me listen again.
Tool. It is designed specifically to create the conditions that a community can have an
Maybe it's a winch him want or a spanner or something for go pull something. I don't know. And maybe I'm a saw something. But I don't understand. He don't have the tool. What kind of tool him not have? You just mention, you shouldn't mention quicker way and slower way. But you do it the slower way. Why you don't do it the quicker way? Because I don't have the tool. What are the tool? All you need to do, you investigate. But them just tell you them have one bag of technology and them move the people. Him say pan other interviews. So either them a tell lie, I don't know where I say I do something, but this not right, this not make no sense. Sir Googs. We are crow of one night him, Sir Googs. You can't just say GUGU Gaga, just play Mr. GUGU, Sir GUGU Gaga. Yeah? Yeah, man.
Prevention and develop itself and be developed.
Yeah,
to remove some of the conditions that lend itself to increased violence in the long term.
What the condition you move, sir?
The other tools we have are how we approached gang investigations and how we sought to get gangs before the courts to dismantle the gang as an organization as opposed to just getting a gangster convicted on a predicate offense.
Yeah.
And we still have the impact of that. The cases are still going through.
We still have the impact of that. The cases are still going through. The man does not try to mix up himself. He can't get a proper statement. He can't make no interview. He can't make a proper sentence. It don't make no sense. It does not make no sense.
And we learn from each case so that we can make the next case better. Because until you test the act and you hear the judgment and you read the judgment, you don't know what to adjust. So we've been adjusting along with the prosecutor.
What do you mean by you don't know what to adjust? If the youth them charge you something, if a gun crime, this or murder, we don't have that pan books. But you don't need to just nothing. You don't need to do what you do. You want to get trained for do.
But just running this case, one gang case, takes 50 members to support it every time it's active.
You have 33 people I deal with. I will say a gang and them thing. If you have 50, that's not good, man. So you have more than what you do. And you hear that one, you know, PR.
That pulls 50 people from CTOC and some specialized units to support it.
And you don't have enough of those?
No, of course not. We've been building it. And so here's the point. There's a quick way of doing it, and there's a slower way of doing it. We're doing it the slower way.
Yeah.
Why not the quicker way?
Because we don't have those tools.
Okay.
So when you mention quicker way, so how much money spend, how much billions spend? Them have make sure me play the man I say them have body camera, them have this, them have that, and them have show you the forensic lab and all kind of thing. Me have it there. Me have it. Them have all kind of things. So you know have the tool. Then when you tell me about quicker and slower way. That makes sense? Eh? Where is it eloquently? Or fluidity. Yeah? So it goes.
Right.
Really?
So the slow way is as we recruit, as we bring in more people, as we train and develop leaders, we put them.
As we train and develop leaders, you know, a police want as we train and develop leaders. Develop leaders, leader them a one. We can't bother with a man, you know. A man, as we develop leaders, how am I saying a while? Yeah, my train leaders. Eh? Me not understand as them develop the slower way. You're carrying police. Police always train. If them train how much weeks, how much months, them are train and them come in and them beat and foot away you want to call it, and then them go up the rank and push in them service and do police work. So I mean by as we train them, this is the slower way. You know, say a foolishness man attack.
To dismantle the gang as an organization, as opposed
in
to
PR,
just getting a gangster convicted on a predicate offense.
You know why them bring a PR thing? I become me just show the GUGU Gaga thing, so them bring out a PR because me hear some murder drop, somebody send it for me, so I listen to myself. You understand?
And we still have the impact of that. The cases are still going through, and we learn from each case so that we can make the next case better. Because until you test the act and you hear the judgment and you read the judgment, you don't know what to adjust. So we've been adjusting along with the prosecutors. But just running this case, one gang case,
I know prosecutors.
50 members to support it.
Yeah.
Every time it's active.
So you have 31 people and you have to cut some people and police to go do them work. So what you have to use one police? Come on now. I'm going to know what I'm talking about.
50 people from CTOC and some specialized units to support it.
And you don't have enough of those?
No, of course not.
Yeah.
We've been building it. And so here's the point.
It is.
There's a quick way of doing it, and there's a slower way of doing it. We're doing it the slower way.
It is.
Why not the quicker way?
Because we don't have those tools.
Okay.
Right. So the slow way is as we recruit, as we bring in more people, as we train and develop leaders, we put them into the fray.
You develop leaders and put into the fray, GUGU. Leaders. Police officers, we want some police to beat and foot and then you put them. Because I remember you go in there and overtrain them and then rank and file and you go up and get, corporal and sergeant and then you go up the ladder. You are trained leaders. You come in and train leaders and put them into the fray. What kind of fray? A friend Panima say, PR stunt now work, Because you have to die, kit, man.
And as we onboard more technologies and some of these.
As we onboard, them man think, just talk something time out and then him back it way and then him throw a monkey wrench in a way, I say. The man should I get fired? May I show you why should I get fired? PR stunt now work.
We've discussed previously. And we lost a little bit of momentum during COVID, but we're back on. There's none of our projects that has ground to a halt. They've only slowed down.
Then they're not our project that's going to a halt. They won't go slow down. COVID, people can't even come out of them house. Them police living at the street and soldier. So I don't know what going to all people. But you remember all one night time, on Saturday, you have to come up much as 7 till around 12 o'clock. I'll be a police and be a people that get locked up. So we're going to a halt. What the man say? Them won't go slow down. But nothing not slow down. Because them have the, when them call it, when them lock you up for all kind of things. So when they slow down, you know, go to a, let me listen to him just say, because that don't make no sense neither. In a COVID police are run and it's still about. When them run out and be a lockdown and be a city, run up and down and all kind of things. Where must I say the
That's what we need. Okay? And we did that not by pulling a number out of the sky.
Yeah.
We did that through a very scientific method. It is designed specifically to create the conditions that a community can have an intervention and develop itself and be developed. To remove some of the conditions that lend itself to increased violence in the long term, medium to long term.
Yeah, it is.
The other tools we have are how we approached gang investigations and how we sought to get gangs before the courts to dismantle the gang as an organization as opposed to just getting a gangster convicted on a predicate offense. And we still have the impact of that. The cases are still going through, and we
still have the impact of that. The cases are still going through. That's stupidness. That's PR stuff.
We learn from each case so that we can make the next case. Until you test the act and you hear the judgment and you read the judgment, you don't know what to adjust. So we've been adjusting along with the prosecutors. But just running this case, one gang case, takes 50 members to support it.
This doesn't make no sense.
Every time it's active. That pulls 50 people from CTOC and some specialized units to support it.
And you don't have enough of those?
No, of course not. We've been building it. And so here's the point. There's a quick way of doing it, and there's a slower way of doing it. We're doing it the slower way.
Why not the quicker way?
Because we don't have those tools.
Okay.
So why you not tell me say you have a quick way to do it and a slow way? But we do it the slower way. And what is the slower way? To get more police to join, more youth, young boy, 18 year old, 19 for join the force as we training leaders. That don't make no sense. You understand? And put them in the fray. Leaders and put them in the fray. Eh? You might do it the slower way. Don't wait till we quicker way and slower way. But you still much money on have. So why they make you do it the quicker way? Eh? Me don't know because them have the vehicle, them have everything, but them say them have. But you still do it the slower way because them don't have the tool. What kind of tool? You want an axe, sir? What you want a saw? What you want? Eh? This is not right, man.
Right. So the slow way is as we recruit, as we bring in more people, as we train and develop leaders, we put them into the fray.
We train and develop leaders and put them
as
in the
we
fray.
onboard more technologies, and some of these we've discussed previously.
See it? More technologies.
We lost a little bit of momentum during COVID, but we're back on. There's none of our projects that has grown to a halt. They've only slowed down. So we're back on. So we're improving the recruiting this year. This financial year, we're going to recruit upwards of 1,200 new officers. It's the highest number that have ever been recruited in a year.
And that will take you up to what number?
That will take me up to...
So if you recruit them at talk about, them not ready for join police yet. We'll deal with crime. You see where I'm going to appear, I think I'm going to deal with it, you know? Eh?
That will give me a plus 12,000 plus. About 12,500.
And really you need how many? Minimum to really give yourself a fighting chance.
Well, a fighting chance.
So Cliff doesn't tell us him don't have a chance. Just flap him like a while. What much you need to give yourself a fighting chance? You have to listen good when I say, you know. Them just sit down and chat one bag of crap, you know. One bag of crap. Eh?
And so we have a fighting chance now. So let me not say
look.
Right.
Yeah, I'm saying okay. So we have a fighting chance now. We have a fighting chance now. So no, God, Cliff say you get a fighting. We have a fighting chance now. Yeah. All right.
to give you enough that you can.
Right. We established our numbers at 18,000. That's what we need. Okay.
You want 18,000?
And we did that.
So, you can get 18,000 when you have police damp and soldier damp the whole place, and the one of them youth are going to jail and lock up for all kind of things. So, who you got draw for? You got draw for some people now. I don't know, you get the next 6,000. If you can make up the force, where you got draw them from? The same people, them want to lock down and everything, lock up and all kind of things. And who get your card for some little thing, can't go into the force. Eh? Not going to work.
Not by pulling a number out of the sky.
Yeah.
We did that through a very scientific method.
Scientific.
Testing this method against experienced officers who police stations, station areas.
So you're shot by a third.
So what do I mean by experienced officers who police station? That have nothing scientific pull out of sky and all kind of things. And what did this thing come over me I watch? The man can't talk to me straight. Google, Sir Google, sorry. Sir Googs. Remember, you're 90, they get 90, yeah? Yeah, man, 90 by lonesome. Sir Googs, talk to me straight when you talk to. And the PR business now works, sir. Now work.
33%.
Yes. But.
So the powers that be understand this reality?
No, absolutely. And that is why, even from finance, because one of the things I do with these
Hold it. Let's take the break and come back.
We don't want no break, boy. We don't want no break, boy.
Slow up a little.
So, all right.
1,000 men and women in the constabulary force. With the recruitment this year of 1,200, that will carry them to 12,000. That means they're operating short by a third.
No, but them never. We don't know when the force, because the commissioner before, we don't know when it was 18,000. But we check it back, people. So when I say operate, boy, I shot by a you see, these are a PR stunt. Because the long time the force said they don't win no near right, there's a none whatsoever. We shot by a third. So the man said take for 12,000, so it shot by 6,000. That's why the job not done. You know, so they might take people for that. PR this. PR. And yet still, government, more ask you know this. If we can't pay the police them 4%, can't get ahead and can't find the money. Owner employer next third to pay them, even the same pay. You know, so no wicked to the police them. You know, so no evil. Pay the people that make them do them job. Because if you're an employer, you want 1,200 for cat up at 12,000, and then you want the next 6,000. That means 6,000 and 1,200, 7,200. But you can't find money for pay them per month. Pay all of them. But no, what they know, you can't find money for pay them. Not even them back money. It's a wicked piece of crap. When if you listen to policemen and woman, because we are chat phone too. And when them are chat of foolishness. You can't find money for pay police, but you can't pay 7,000 at new police. Yeah? 7,000 at new police if you get them for training, man. 7,000. It don't make no sense. Eh? It don't make no sense. Me don't say the police force go up this and either. Eh? Man, this wrong. This wrong. See? So you're already 12. That means I say the 11 after me does do some things where I'm saying the 12,000 already, you know. That means some police can leave already. But if you say it'll go back at 12. 12 something you want 18,000. See? So you want to have 2/3 away more when it go at 12. So you want the whole for 18. No make no sense. You can't pay police, but you can't find money for do that. No. Eh? Yeah, man.
You were telling me that is slowing you up in terms of the things you need to do.
Yeah.
Yes?
So at the police, when not have the 6,000 or that 7,002, I slow him up. Okay, 6,000 plus, you got train 1,200 now. 1,002. So 7,002, I slow him up. Make him can't do what he do. You see the man forget fired. And you know, so them have money for pay the police them. So if you get 7,200 more people, much more money that you pay per month. For them paycheck there. And you can't find the people the money go give them right now. That must be an evil government, man. People have to listen to all them PR stunt and working, I can't joke them all about, you know, if you listen and dissect them thing, yeah. That make the government not expose the government to, you know. Yeah, man.
Expand.
No, I think that I got slowed up a little bit in COVID in terms of building that capacity, but also all of the other, both the technical things, technological things that have been added to the force and that we are adding, those are back on track. So,
Them that have a
you know,
track.
in my engagements with policymakers, there's a continual advocacy for the resources required to do this. Now, some of it is.
So you said the resources are going to get, in a last fiscal year, them get 84 billion. JDF get 26. Them must get 12 and them get 26 billion. So more than 100% that. Because 12 and 12, 24 is a be 100%. Them get 26 billion. You see how much money them get? Eh? The force go up to 84 billion. And them have said them policies and things and all kind of attack all kind of crap. When them have the money, them say them have the tool. Them just not pay the police.
Ours. So we had to build the capacity to do proper force generation. We had to build the capacity to create leaders who can actually, who we can be assured that these leaders can do the job that they're going to. So they come to promote.
So now, but we have the leaders them. That be tell me say the leaders them. Which one are the leaders here, Bill? Because if I the soup, them here say that mean them can't do the job. Me don't know because you embarrass them too. Me don't know what GUGU attack, you know. So if you attack your Bill, I couldn't the one them because them not a turn leader right now. So you must talk about the one them when they were in the khaki. And if you are train them to be right leaders, if you train them. You see me I say? them be train, man. This is a joke. Be a foolish this about attack, you know. Because I'm sure him boss under the bus, I'm sure the government under the bus same time. I'm sure the PR stunt man under the bus, and I'm sure himself under the bus. A good thing in a train. You can't do let them that get crushed. Yeah,
motion through objective measures and training that allows us to be assured that when you see that inspector, they can do inspector's job. When you see that sergeant, they can do a sergeant's job.
That means them not doing a sergeant and inspector job now. So him finish, he might admit say, we don't have nobody that work for we. GUGU that he just say, you know, them not doing no job. Him just say it. So we get him to admit it. So you understand what I say? See there? GUGU is hard to get from me, because we are listening here. When you see the inspector, him can do an inspector job and sergeant do a sergeant job. Listen.
Up to January, from last year up to January.
Yeah.
And those leaders, those 451 people, we are assured that they can do the business and lead this influx of new people and young blood.
Yeah.
On the other side of it, because this is really about homicides, as you say, because these measures that we've been putting.
I'll go back a little bit now.
Target probing.
No,
slowed up a little bit in COVID
no,
in terms of building that capacity, but also all of the other, both the technical things, technological things,
yes,
that have been added to the force and that we are adding, those are back on track. So, you know, in my engagements with policymakers, there's a continual advocacy for the resources required to do this. Now, some of it is.
Or if you listen, the man them give the tool and them did it, we see them. They don't spend the money and then tell the boom boom. We have to talk about advocacy. And that's a garbage. I joke this.
Ours. So we had to build the capacity to do proper force generation. We had to build the capacity to create leaders who can actually, who we can be assured that these leaders can do the job that they're going to.
So right man does embarrass the whole police force. When a leader, when a can't lead. GUGU say when no police. The great GUGU say when you can't lead. You have got train now for the police work. Just listen. You have got train now, listen.
It comes promotion through objective measures and training that allows us to be assured that when you see that inspector, they can do inspector's job. When you see that sergeant, they can do a sergeant's job.
And when we say a commissioner, we can do a commissioner job. That's why when you do that, if you just leave Because you're not a commissioner, you can't do commissioner job good, sir.
We promoted 451 people up to January, from last year up to January. And those leaders, those 451 people, we are assured that they can do the business and lead this influx.
Them are a leader in flux. What we and them know, them are a leader in flux.
Of new people and young blood. On the other side of it, because this is really about homicides, as you say, because these measures that we've been putting in place have impacted all other crime.
Crime
Homicide
are crime.
work.
The biggest crime of the people of life. A man go pick 2 man go, we can deal with that. Other thing, but go tell me about crime and this, go down and this. That for sure say the people them not want really thief. If you got tell me about stealing gone down and this gone down, no. Them have a problem with themselves for the killing of that. And we don't want a stray bullet catch me. So now tell me crime are crime. From crime up it up. And the most dangerous one to take your life. People can't sleep in them bed and open their window.
It's a bit different from that, because the breakdown of homicides, and when we look at our attribution last year, 79% of homicides were gang on gang or gang related. There's another 19% of homicides that was interpersonal matters that get resolved through murder. And then there is a small percentage of them that we can't attribute as yet.
I want more him, you know. I want more him, because I know say him say small percentage, but one thing call it percent, because I show him say 79% or 90% of that. And 79% and 19%, that sound like a 98%. Some want him tell me, because I know him next 10 or 15%. So wait, me him say a small percent. It does say 1% or 2%. No. Let me just listen for that he say. Can you listen to him, you know? I listen to him. Can you know me say it, you know? Let me hear it.
There is a small percentage of them that we can't attribute as
very small.
Because these measures that we've been putting in place have impacted all other crime. Homicide works a bit different from that, because the breakdown of homicides, and when we look at our attribution last year, 79% of homicides were gang on gang or gang related.
Yes.
There's another 19% of homicides that was interpersonal matters that get resolved through murder.
But you know what I say?
And then there is a small percentage of them that we can't attribute as yet. And there's about a 5 or so percent that are in pursuit of other crimes.
That makes sense, people. That makes sense to you. 79, man, wait upon him. And him just say a percent. Remember, you can't go over 100%. You cannot. This man for leave, you know. This man for leave. 79% put one pan it at 80%. 19% put one pan it at 20%. So you can't pass 100%. So if you get 98%, or him get the next 5%, him have a small amount of percentage, then a next 5%. That would be, me not cannot tell me the figure. But the 5% push me 103%. Him a chat crap. Yeah, that's what I say. You have to listen. You see, these, no, sir. Me not go school, you know, then go school. Then bright. Listen again. At the percentage.
We had to build the capacity
at
to
the
create leaders who can actually, who we can be assured that these leaders can do the job that they're going to. So they come to promotion through objective measures and training that allows us to be assured that when you see that inspector, they can do inspector's job. When you see that sergeant, they can do sergeants.
That's why I say them do PR, you know, and the man they even correct him, PR them not correct you. Sometimes some man, that's why I say if you just listen them keenly, man. You listen them keenly, you say everything with them chat. Him can't say something what pass me, you know. No, me hear everything when I say, man. Never that thing can't flap him in that talk, but me love it, man. He might go on. Oh, you have 100% that thing. Or you reach 103 plus an next set of percentage when you count. Just listen.
Job. We promoted 451 people up to January from last year into January.
People,
and those leaders, those 451 people, we are assured that they can do the business and lead this influx of new people and young blood. on the other side of it, because
Listen
this
now.
is really about homicides, as you say, because
Here.
these measures that we've been putting in place have impacted all other crime.
Yes.
Homicide works a bit different from that, because the breakdown of homicides, and when we look
You
at
might
our
break it down.
attribution last year, 79% of homicides
79
were
people.
gang on gang or gang related.
79.
There's another 19% of homicides
19. 98.
that was interpersonal matters that get
100
resolved
going on.
through murder. And then there is a small percentage of them that we
Small
can't attribute
percentage.
as yet.
That means more than 1%.
And there's about a 5 or so percent that
5
are in
or
pursuit
so.
of other crimes, like a robbery gone bad or
503.
something like that. What that means is out
Eh?
of 1,400, 70 of them is what
So in percentage all wrong. So him get out of 100. Now care what you do, you go 100%. Or him reach 103. He might tell about the whole murder figure, you know. So if you get 1,460, it run off 100, same way. And if him a break it down, or 303, me not understand it none at all. Plus, him say percentage. So him a some say 1%. Him percentage, that means more than 1. So I'm more than 103. Me not know much. Or him gone, or you get 98 plus the next 5% plus something else. When I calculate, what am I say? And you have people hear this and say, yes, him do noise. The man step down. The man step down.
really impacts
Yeah, there.
Hear
the
you.
random person.
Hear you, Commissioner Anderson. But in this mix,
Yes.
where the criminals are not letting up, yes,
And neither are we.
you are not
Yeah.
letting up, but we see the figures.
Yes.
We see the mayhem in the country. Yes. How could we get to a place where the head of the police federation, yes,
Yes.
Corporal Rohan James, is arguing that this issue of compensation is so demoralizing the men and women of the force at a time when you need them to be at their most motivated. Your deputy commissioner, Fitz Bailey, admitted to us 2 weeks ago that the issues surrounding compensation of your men and women have so made it difficult for the High Command to motivate them to do their jobs. Listen to DCP Bailey.
Clear him.
There are some things that must be dealt with, and I think the issue regarding the police rank and file, I would want to implore the powers that be to deal with the issue that is creating the distraction. I mean, when a constable gets less than $70,000 before tax as their basic pay, that does not inspire the level of confidence and the level
70,000 before this are evilness, you know. And you don't want to pay them, but you still want you want to pay 7,200 police, more new police for me to demand, but you don't have no money to pay them. Or you have to pay the one them want to come in. If me they did it for go train and thing, I ask so you have to pay me not gonna join it. That don't make no sense. It don't make no sense if I pay the people them. Pay them. It don't make no sense.
the response that you want. We need to settle those issues. I work in the CIB for years. When you look at what a detective gets for detective allowance, it's nothing really.
Yeah.
Why have we allowed this to get to here?
Okay, so I'm not sure why it got here, but as I said, my engagement with policymakers is to materially change this. And we will see what happens.
Materially change this. Man, I answer that, man. You get 103% plus percentage. When you not give me the figure for 10-year attack, I say I get more out of 100%. Him reach 103. And I know the piano seat. 103. You have to listen to this man keenly. You have to listen to him keenly. 103%. And plus the percentage. When we say a little percentage, some other percentage. But we him not add up, so we don't add it pan that. The 5 or so, it can be more. But him from him said the 5, we add it to the 98. Saying? Out of 100%, him got 103. Me don't know how that work. Me don't know.
Come April and beyond, because the whole framework for compensation in the public service is changing. This is not, the details of it, of course, is to be laid out by the Minister of Finance. I won't trespass on that. But certainly my members can rest assured that their commander-in-chief, their chief constable, their
almost an army this. Their command-in-chief, their chief constable. So yeah, chief constable, that's good. Like I say in the UK. But no command-in-chief. Yeah? Are the commanding-chief, the commanding-chief constable.
Your deputy commissioner, Fitz Bailey,
chief of staff, commanding-chief.
admitted to us 2 weeks ago that the issues surrounding compensation of your men
we were pushing, and the impact is felt. We were out there recovering weapons. We recovered 30 weapons over a week.
But
remember here that little part.
Yes. Your men and women are under pressure to eke out a
investigator with 26 murders investigating, and he clears 13 of those, just a 50% clear-up rate.
So, Commander-in-Chief.
Yes.
So let us say, come April, come
well,
May,
April, May, whatever.
come May, come June this year.
Yes.
Your members do not see that appreciable adjustment.
Yes.
Is that how you to say I'm gone?
So, Cliff, you know what I remember I said, I've had these discussions.
Yes.
I'm not going to say I'm gone.
In other words, I'm saying you are going to lay down to the policymakers. You are giving me basket to carry water.
No, but yes, Cliff. But so what I'm saying is it's not just in terms of remuneration, but also the kit and equipment required to do the job. This is.
But you say you have it. When you say the government say they spend much billions, and that's true, they spend much billions. So you say we require to do the job. We don't have the amount of rifle and gun, but we don't do the job. We don't have handcuff, we don't have baton, we don't have spray, we don't have the jeep, we don't have vehicle. What more you want missile? Do you want one of the you carry them? And what you want? To do the job. What else police carry? In a UK, and them have, me can't tell you this, them have nuclear. Police work with them have them button and them have them handcuff on them because me and them thing there. Them don't really work with gun. No, you have to cut the one them where you know, them have to carry gun involved. Them are running down with beer and then they want to catch it too. You understand? Yeah, man. Them work with gun and the police don't have no gun. Can you imagine? We don't have gun on battlefield to fight war. $18 million man. And a Stevenson this, you know, a GUGU Gaga, the $18 million man. Yeah, man.
The case I'm making.
Yes.
Yeah, this.
No, the truth of the matter is, yes, you want to, sorry.
Yeah.
Right. The truth of the matter is that we have to continue that advocacy. We will see what happens come April, May. I have no reason to believe otherwise than what I'm saying.
I have no reason to believe otherwise than what I'm saying. What the man does say, he might make a statement and he not make it. Me tell you, say this man, no sir. Forget about this, sir. I'm sure that me tell you stop anything here. I mean, listen.
The truth of the matter is that we have to continue that advocacy. We will see what happens come April, May. Yes. I have no reason to believe otherwise than what I'm saying.
This problem must be solved.
Because I have seen already, when I raised some of the issues about kit and equipment with the policymakers, they went to second supplementary and gave us money.
But you have the equipment, so you say now not now boom bam bam. But the people them get their money.
They are, as what I've seen, they have onboarded these concerns and they're acting on them.
Very well. Okay, let's move on. Question.
They are on board.
What happened at Stadium East yesterday?
At Stadium East, there was an operation there to recover firearms. We got some information that firearms may be secreted there. And so we did a search operation to find and recover these firearms.
Can't bother with the man just talk. Hey.
That's
Run it.
what happened. So we've recovered some. We're still looking.
They were actually buried on the field?
Near the field.
Near the field?
Yes.
The Gleaner is reporting this morning in a pipe structure.
Oh, is that what they said?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm
so-
asking you.
No. So, well, we're not going to go through that because, as you know, we're still on the ground and investigators are still doing.
That depend one depend camera, we see where them get it. We're not gonna go through that. When them talk to the man yesterday from yesterday and them video it and everything and release it. But him now got you it. No, sir.
What they're doing, but that fits in. So
When
what
say
you
we're still doing what they are doing? Oh, me just remember, all right. Me know who the commissioner coming like. What the man, the white-head man, Nelson, what him name? In a diard? A diard? Where him do PS stupidness, the man, the white-head man. Where him name again? Where, I think OJ Simpson at that. Where him name again? A diard it name? Where I be a foolishness him do all blah, 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 and talk foolishness. What the man name? He coming like a man there, you know. Where him name again? Eh? Well on there. Let me hear what my man here say. Doing what
we
we
did
doing?
a search operation
Yes.
to find
Police
and recover
Academy.
these firearms. That's what happened. So we've recovered some. We're still looking.
They were actually buried on the field?
So why am I doing? I put an emphasis to make it sound extra. They was actually buried on the field.
Near the field.
Near the
near the
field.
field.
The Gleaner is reporting this morning
Yeah,
in
this
a
now.
pipe structure.
Oh, is that what they said?
Yes.
Okay.
That's
I'm
what
asking
they
you.
said.
No.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
well, we're not going to go through that because, as you know, we're still on the ground and investigators are still doing what they're doing. But
Still doing what they're doing. Now we're not gonna go through that. I just it up. It show. He might talk today about that yesterday and then video it and it come out, right? And he might talk stupidness. Naked gun, man. Naked gun. I see, only thing if you do is go up some white here, man. See? Yeah, the man had a naked gun. I said the man go on, you know. Be stupidness, you know. Look like GUGU Gaga and him. Like them a twin. Yeah, man.
that fits in. So what you saw basically there, it fits in with an overall strategy and tasking that
It fits in with the overall strategy and tasking. That fits in. You just find some gun. Overall, what kind of strategy and tasking? If you get some information, a man pay money and say boom, 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 bam, I just go get it. I don't know when you love the too much and PR and apps. You see me I say? Yeah, man. Me I listening, man, like him I drop some words, so I feel listening it out, you know?
has been given, you know, as we meet at the High Command and as Commissioner, 4 deputies. And
As commissioner, I have 4 deputies. Who asked you that? We know you're the commissioner, you're GUGU Gaga. Nelson, man. Nelson. You're GUGU Gaga. We know you're the commissioner and I have 4 deputies. Come on.
each one has some things to deliver.
So you could have 4 deputies and none of them now not for deliver, sir? Eh? Me don't know where me not understand him. I'm the commissioner, I have 4 deputies, each one have something to deliver. Eh?
So the recovery of firearms like that, in those cases, the use of intelligence to support operations and support what we do, the rollout of additional fugitive apprehension.
When I'm going so far, firearm what I talk about, you know. This is like when I call crime stop and say this and that. You have future is this and that and intelligence and me not understand him.
Capacity.
Capacity.
Those are tasks that have gone to DCP crime.
Mm-hmm.
So Mr. Bailey has a set of things that he's working to,
Yeah.
and this is one of the manifestations of this. At the same time, you have Mr. Blake at operations. They have a responsibility to deal with our routes, because sometimes we find that our criminals are moving too easily with guns. They have a responsibility to interrupt that, and we saw some of it being played out. How they use our specialized operations and our public safety and traffic enforcement branch to do that job.
Yeah.
So there are a number of operational tasks, as it were, that
You might look at him for now.
each DCP is tasked with. One of the things that would be interesting, or probably interesting.
What I'm tasked with? You say he tasked with, and say one of the things interested. Tell me what I'm tasked with. What I'm tasked with? Come back, Nickel.
Writing your brand new Hyundai.
No, what I'm tasked with. Got me not more your way. Same task with him.
Each DCP is tasked with.
One
of the things that would be interesting, or probably interest you. I've already met with the new CDS on Saturday evening.
Rear Admiral Weems Gorman.
Correct.
Yes.
To look at how we get our two forces to work in a more integrated way. It's not that they weren't. How we operate more jointly and become more agile to target some of these gangsters and these areas as soon as they start to flare.
All right. We're up on the break.
Okay.
So we have a soldier force. A soldier, we have a force, we army. And our army have to fight the Jamaican people straight. Yeah? And do him tell me, say, youth are fight and all kind of things in the place.
Engagement is showing nothing that I'd like to. We also have our.
The 90th.
We're talking with the Commissioner of Police, Major General Anthony Anderson, about the crime situation in Jamaica.
Yes.
And we want to get in some of your questions, so I'm going to shut up in a little while. But CP, I want to just get an update on a few of the high-profile ones. Yes? So you're still at Stadium East, or you've ended up?
We're still at it.
Okay.
And we'll be at it for as long as it takes.
Okay. That incident where the 9-year-old Gabriel King, Tucker, in Tucker in St. James.
Yes.
Have you made a breakthrough?
We have leads. This is a very sensitive case. We haven't left this one only to the divisional investigators, but we have our major investigation division at it. And we had sent down somebody from CIB headquarters to also oversee the investigation. We also have our other supporting elements who deal with forensics and cyber forensics and all of that, dealing with this matter.
Man, tell me about the case called lock up people. You must have them the cyber forensic and all that kind of thing. Where must
it is, we are moving along on the case. I really don't want to give up much on this case because although it has attracted a lot of public attention, and we have been receiving from the public cooperation. It's important that everybody involved in the case cooperates with us.
You have received the autopsy report.
Yes.
Anything new apart
no.
from the fact that he had his throat slashed?
No.
Nothing new.
Well, nothing that I'd like to talk about at the moment.
Oh, so you have?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying.
What are you saying?
I am saying that the sensitivity of the case and where it is it's not really a case that we can discuss the details of. Yeah.
But no news from the autopsy then?
It's not a case that we can discuss any further, Cliff. Right. And as this is one that, as you say, as soon.
You see that now? You see, if it was a little better youth and they just move on, all kind of things, Number one, let me tell you this. People all overseas disgusted with that other man got a case there. Because if a part of the thing, you old people, business, you just hold them. Yeah, man, you hold them and if you deal with who forget deal with, in business. You see me, I say? So that's a foolishness. You understand? This is a foolishness. Yeah, man. This are foolishness. We go and hear him.
As soon as we're in a position to, we will update.
Bounty Hall last Friday evening, Friday morning.
Yes.
3 people, including a woman.
Yes.
Any breakthrough on that?
Yes, we have at least 2 of the perpetrators. We have a good idea who they may be. Work is being done in that regard. And so, obviously, it's a multi-parish investigation. It doesn't seem to be so. It happened in Trelawney, but it seems to arise from St. James, and maybe other parishes involved. So again, we are doing the work, and then we will go and pick up the people. But yes, we do have very strong leads in this.
And is it a case as being reported of mistaken identity, the intended targets?
Well, that still is one of the lines that we're taking. So investigation is showing different lines that we have to pursue. As we pursue them, things become clearer. The good thing is that we have a good sense of the why and the who. So we will...
You won't tell me the who. What is the why? What's the answer to the why? Why did it happen?
A conflict between gangsters and scammers over money. And that's what we see repeatedly. Probably the vast majority of the homicides this year have related to the activities between scammers. The one killed in Clarendon was a displaced scammer hiding from a gang. They caught up with him and killed him. And we see more and more it's the money around scamming and scammers. And of course, unfortunately, the ladies that associate with them now become at risk because of their association and not because of their gender. It's because who they are with. And it's really important that they appreciate it, that when you decide to take up a life of crime in Jamaica, and the way our criminal element resolve differences is murder. And what you're seeing is that you're not just murdering the criminal, but associates, family members, and anyone who can create pain for the person who they're after.
Is that the case of that young lady in Portmore on the weekend? Or?
The murder now get pain, man. Anyone can create pain, fool them off.
So, again, you know, Cliff, the challenge to speak about recent cases is that the investigators, you know, even as they hear me on the radio now, they'll be on tenterhooks. What is the boss going to say?
What the boss I say? GUGU Gaga, GUGU Gaga, GUGU Gaga. What am I say? You mean what am I say?
Will it impact our investigation? Suffice to say that we also have leads on that.
All right, Naggohead. Naggohead is boiling. Community in fear, people thinking of moving out. Well, you made a breakthrough in the McCollin case.
No,
That's
sir.
a man who was killed because his CCTV, he refused to take down his CCTV camera. You have one man in custody, and you're looking for the other 2. But what about the general situation in that community?
So what we've done, and you know, I had all of my commanders on this morning. It's also relates to the discussions I was having with the CDS on the weekend, and so on, to put together a more robust and immediate response to things like this. So sometimes the division is challenged to what they can do in a specific space immediately when they have everything else to do.
What I mean by
Central
face when you have everything else to do. Hey, the man, you just asking good question and get some stupid reply, you know. And a joke me I make. Yeah, man.
So already we respond with centralized assets that we keep. We're looking at how we make that slicker, faster, and more responsive.
Central Kingston, since the Zozo, what's been the result?
Well, certainly within Parade Gardens and Rose Gardens, they've had no killings. We've had to the west of, still in central Kingston, we've had 2 to the west of the zone of special operations and north, west and north.
Yeah, but at Central Kingston, so you said a part of them no killing, but to the west of killing. Central Kingston, you have 2 killing there. Jesus wisdom. So over that side of them the killing, but aside of 2 it have killing. I still said Central Kingston. Come on now.
So over towards the King Street side and going up towards Fletcher's Land, we've had 2. But it has certainly in the main.
It have 2. So it don't make no sense. Central Kingston, we have 2. Me don't know whether man go run and tie up himself. So for man, what happened to the man?
Hot area. It has calmed it down. We've had to push a lot of assets in there, which is the framework of the zone of special operations.
You see my big it up? All right, okay. So you go your bed and police and soldiers around your house. You leave, go downtown, you come from Central Kingston, some man does time late, that time can know, say you go there, so them whap you, you go out there, so them whap you. Same place you come from, you know. And them whap your side eye, it make any difference? Same place, you know, still a war, anybody them catch people, them whap them. You might tell us a book back later. You depend Central Kingston or up the road there, so them the right, they stand us maybe 90 meters up the road, they get whapped. That make difference? Man,
now, in a zone of special operations, you when you put that in place, you get sometimes you get a quick displacement.
Yes.
And then the act itself does not require persons to leave the community. And so we have to maintain presence there so that even criminal actors cannot act in the community. High presence.
So even criminal actor cannot act in the community.
Give us a sense of the results now. We're into our 5th or 6th Zozo. Yeah?
Yes.
Mount Salem was the first. Then we have Denham Town. What's happening in those in terms of the data, the criminal activity?
Well, all of them, all zones of special operations have a reduction in criminal activities. However, they are very small areas and they are highly and heavily policed. Now, the truth is, if you have enough, then you can do that everywhere.
But you don't.
You don't. And we won't for a while.
The man asked to give you a run up on the zone where I go and they talk about do it everywhere and all kind of things. I go run and play around and attack her.
And that is why we've almost been implementing them as we've got recruits in and brought new policemen in and so on.
The man asked that. Him not answer, you know?
The idea of declaring them when you don't have the assets is just going to create a nonsense of the whole process.
All right. Owen, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Hughes.
Your question for Commissioner Anderson.
Good morning, Commissioner Anderson.
Yes, good morning.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to take you back a little bit.
Yes.
That incident out in Chedwin Park, was it last year or late
Anyway, remember.
I would put it this way. It resulted in the dissolving of the mobile reserve, right? You remember the incident? Well,
yes.
It eventually turned out that the mobile reserve was dissolved, right? Where that police officer was alleged to have shot this promoter out at Chedwin Park. You remember that incident?
I remember the incident.
Okay. Now, we haven't heard anything further from that case. There was a visitor to Jamaica. Jamaican came home to visit, and he ended up dead out at the roundabout, right? And that case has just gone dormant as far as I can tell. I've heard anything more about it.
Can you tell us anything on it?
So, okay.
Thank you, Owen.
Yes, sir.
Right, thanks. All right, let me just make a bit of correction. So the mobile reserve unit was one of the units scheduled for change, for revamping, for as part of our structural development activities. There were 6 units that we are looking at changing, and we have changed all 6 of them. So Mobile Reserve was stood down, and we redeveloped specialized operations, retrained, re-equipped, and they are existing there now. The specific case that you're talking about, I have not had an update very recently, so I unfortunately, Carl, I cannot update you on it.
All right. What's the latest with the arms find at Sangster? 20 guns.
Yes. Oh, the 20 guns. It was discovered in a shipment in the cargo area at Sangster. Like all of the gun cases, once we have a gun find like that, we immediately start to liaise with our overseas partners to look at the sourcing of it, who may have sent it, and also we look clearly on the people who come to recover it here on this side, and that forms the basis of the investigation. We have, working with our overseas partners, some of our previous finds, we have actually had convictions even in the United States for the people who sent it down. We work very closely with our police forces over there, and also people like the Alcohol, Tobacco and Firearms Agency in the United States. I actually have an inspector who sits in the New York Police Department in their intelligence cell, who works with us to deal with cases over there. And we actually have ATF agents.
The man, them they even match the man with him counterparts, you know, them match him with the inspector. He's a commissioner, and them match him with the inspector. If you don't talk to you, not even a soup. If you match with the counterparts, man, make police to them work then, man.
Resident in Jamaica who we work with, and also the FBI on this.
So, still a work in progress.
Still a work in progress.
A WhatsApper wants me to ask you, ask CP how many cops left the force last year?
The number is 300 and 300 plus.
300 plus.
300 plus.
And how many did you recruit?
Last year I recruited 700.
So a net
700 plus, 750.
So a net gain of 400.
Net gain of 400.
And this year you're planning to recruit 1,200.
1,200, yes.
And you may lose another 200, 300?
I'd say 3 plus. So what we've had is a decline in the number. It was 400, near 500 at one point. May have touched 500. And steadily we have seen a decline in the number of police officers departing.
We're up on our final break, and then we'll let you go.
Okay.
We could get more or something by the final break, I'm sure.
Ask CP, where's the force on eradicating the corrupt members from its ranks? And if he could expound on some of the strategies being used to do that.
Okay, so as you're probably aware, we have arrested some police officers who were involved in crime and various types of crime. And these arrests have come out of part of the strategy to do just that. We know.
You know, answer yet, you know. You arrest some officers do crime because them crime, and this arrest come out of the strategy to do just that. We arrest them for the start.
We had an arrest in Kingston East. We had an arrest of a district constable involved, who appeared to be involved in some contract killings. We've arrested somebody, a police officer involved in robberies, and we're going to continue that process. We have some cases working against our own officers. The good thing is, so when these things happen, I don't see them as bad things. The good thing is our officers are arresting these officers, not somebody else.
So even me can't hear that man now. I'm done. Yo, me fed up. GUGU, I mean I dissect the thing. Stop it. So who arrest them? Who else today? The police, a civilian for arrest them? Oh, not somebody else. What am I say? And him can't tell me about thing there because they move the power from the teeth of them. From the dog without teeth. So does the police arrest the police. So who else arrest them? The people them? Not somebody else? Me not understand that. Let me listen what him just said.
Ask CP, where's the force on eradicating the corrupt members from its ranks? And if he could expound on some of the strategies being
Not
used to
somebody
do
else.
that.
Okay, so as you're probably aware, you know, we have arrested some police officers who were involved in crime. And
so if they never involved in crime, you arrest them, sir? Me arrest 5 or 10 man. Yeah, we have some more for arrest. We don't leave crime alone. Stop it, corruption have it done. Just simple, man. We arrest some police officers who are dealing crime. Then you arrest some man who are innocent.
Various types of crime.
Various type of crime.
And these arrests have come out of part of the strategy to do just that.
The strategy to do just that. Man, talk straight to me now, man. This is your problem, man.
We know we had an arrest in Kingston East. We had an arrest of a district constable involved who appeared to be involved in some contract killings. We've arrested somebody, a police officer involved in robberies, and we're going to continue that process. We have some cases working against our own officers. The good thing is, so when these things happen, I don't see them as bad things. The good thing is our officers are arresting these officers, not somebody else.
So and we arrest them, sir? Don't have to arrest them. Anything corrupt and thing just get rid of them same time. What you talk about, man? The good thing is
JCF members who are tired of their names being tarnished by other people are the ones affecting these arrests. And I think that's an important point. Then there's
them name not tarnished. Say if your name GUGU Gaga, what can me not call be the name? Are you a name I call? So them name not tarnished. You think when you have some people who infiltrate the music and want to them do this and that, it hurt me, not hurt me, it hurt themselves. See? You understand? Yeah. So them name not tarnished. If you're good police, you're just a good police. See? So you're good. So your name not tarnished. You're good. And stand up against these kind of criminals, they can't be police and criminal at the same time. No, not all. If you say me I join the force, I upheld the force and upheld the life of living and everything and deal with morals, man. You can't go turn criminal and you're a bad gun. You're dangerous more than 1,000 gunmen. Each constable. The one in the khaki dangerous more than 10,000 gunmen. So it's dangerous. Yeah, man.
the other issues that come up of the reports of corruption and people being who experience this. It is very important. Thank you for the opportunity to say this. It is very important that people report these things when they happen. And if it is on the road, just observe something. The vehicle number, the license number, the person's number, something.
Boy, I want to give me my case. Man, take my back seat and mash me up, jargon pan me. I want to just say when I can't find out who. They get in the come, them a dog without teeth. So I have to do what I do. I have to do what I do, man. We have to clean them up.
And as early as possible after that event, report it. Because we have mechanisms to discover who and where.
Stop your foolishness. I know Nzinga King, the woman trim the girl here, and then run out and him same one, them PR stunt manager. Run out with a little thing and say, boop, boop, and flip and me tell the man, them say, yo, just watch this, boom, bam. See it, him turn over the case to Indicom, and Indicom do them fine, and them fine, but them are fine. And give to DPP, and now January soon done. We attack from July the 22nd. She come out with this in early August, and I know that no call up or nothing yet. Yeah. You see me I talk about? You must say quick dealt with. Foolishness.
So it is important that our public participate in this. Let us know. Sometimes you're getting up.
Me I participate big time. Because me I take it on. So no sometimes you get nothing at all. But when you not act at the egg gonna line up. Egg.
Post on social media a couple of weeks later. And that makes it very difficult, and you just hear that it happened. You don't know when, where, who.
What you mean you see on social media a couple weeks later? Everything will happen now, it come out the same time. No couple weeks later. A man you talk foolishness, you know. And you don't know where or who. Alright, okay. So the youth go under the bed. Them could have find him the same night. When them talk about the Prime Minister. We don't know if a couple weeks, it never happened a couple weeks later. The youth up Monique, them find him the same time and you apologize and all kind of thing. But now you talk about a couple weeks later on social media. They've got that. Hear this. You end up second while on social media.
These things when they happen, and if it is on the road, just observe something. The vehicle number, the license.
Police are tell people, no video, boy, put camera up on me and get gunshot. You have to be careful of all these things. And you tell them to observe them things. People have to video them same way, you know.
Number, the person's number, something. And as early as possible after that event, report it. Because we have mechanisms to discover who and where. So it is important that our public participate in this. Let us know. Sometimes you're getting a post on social media a couple of weeks later.
No go so.
And that makes it very difficult, and you just hear that it happened. You don't know when, where, who. Anything that a member of the public can notice can assist us in this process.
But it's if you see it on the badge and thing, it show up on social media. You can see all the number on it on the video. You can see it. Most of the time you can see it. You hear if something happen now, it will put up same time. It not say about a couple of weeks later. No way at all. No way at all.
Largely our officers are disgusted when these things happen because they are doing their work properly. And then somebody who has decided that their selfishness has caused them to want to benefit otherwise is now pulling down names.
And Mark Greenswood, can you please ask the Commissioner, when will the police station at Johnson Pen in St. Catherine that was recently built, when will it be open? Also, why did they choose to build the station in that riverbed, in that regularly flooded area? I can't fathom why.
Okay, so there are a few things that need to be finished at that station. That's the Green Acres station. So we have to deal with the drainage issue there, of course, but it's pretty much finished. I toured it probably late last year.
Him admit them have to deal with the drainage issue, but it finished. So you put the police step there, what, to never come down them, John? Then if you do construction, you deal with the drainage issue first before you build the building. You hear what I'm saying, while? Then police are going to that. Say if you ever flood all the night and some heavy rain and thing you can't come out. Him serious? That's what I say. You have to listen back to them, man. You know?
And it's really just doing some finishing work on it, and then it will be up and running.
Okay.
Yes.
Papa Nana, good morning. Papa Nana, your question.
Yes,
your question for Commissioner.
Well, yes, sir, Moses here. Anyway, Mr. Commissioner.
Yes, sir.
How are you, sir?
I'm well.
Well, I am not well because I am trying to see if you can do something about what I am about to say.
Yes.
Because the biggest demotivation of the police force, sir. How can a policeman on duty making arrest during the days, and when he completes his duty, you take the gun from him and send him home and yard naked and protected? Tell me if that is not a part of the demotivation of the police force.
Well, as I said,
right, one more question, because
can we do them one and then you give me one more?
Remember, I'm being shot.
Let me just answer the first one.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the push to get enough firearms so that every police officer who comes can draw a firearm and go on duty. At the moment, we have less firearms than officers. That's just real. And so we are working on building out those numbers. Now, it's not everybody or in all cases that we allow officers to keep and care for various reasons, which I won't necessarily go into at the moment.
Foolishness. If foolishness. If you're gonna make a police come out and him have him family set speed and him lock up some dangerous man and do all kind of things and shoot and do all kind of things, and you send him home to go take bus without a weapon with him at any time and living at some dangerous place, you beat up him life. Foolishness. So you, and everybody keep on care about your big boys and keep on care though. That don't make no sense. If you can entrust him with a rifle and with all the gun them to go carry it, so why him can't keep on carry it? Why? Why not? Maybe if him use it to something else, it can trace to him, you know. See? But why him can't keep on carry it? Why must say no make no sense neither, you know? No make no sense.
Moment, but that has never been the practice. It's something we have to look at as we consider things around officer safety. A number of officers have their own private firearms as well.
Yeah, but some of them now have none.
So that's the basic thing. But there's a constant thing that we're talking about, demotivation. As I say, when I look at my officers out there, I see a committed bunch. I don't see necessarily a demotivated bunch. Demotivated people do not do their work. They have a lethargy about them and a.
That's why people don't know. You hear that, James? That's how they not get to the money. Because I'm saying we're not demotivated. So when they look for one, we're all right. I'm like, I think some tool power, you know. You understand? That's how when they not get to the money. Yeah, man.
Don't care. That's not what I'm seeing from the officers generally. I see officers who are committed and deserve to have all of these matters rectified, and that is why I push for the budget to support what we're doing, and for the legislation to support what we're doing, and for the welfare of my officers.
Welfare.
And what are they planning to do come Thursday, the 27th of January?
We will see. I have a monthly meeting. I've met with the Police Federation. I have a monthly meeting. I had meetings in December, and I've had meetings already this month with the Federation.
But they haven't shared with you that they're planning, we gather some action on the 27th this week?
I have a very good relationship with the Police Federation. We talk. We resolve issues.
Hold on, Papa.
You resolve issue federation. The people them want their money. We don't want the people them money for what they work for. Eh? It's wicked, man.
Yes,
we resolve issues with the federation. So we will see.
They have a big issue.
Not they. We all have a big issue. It's not just their issue.
You said no, you have 18 million, you're good. Them have a big issue. You got to talk about crime and all that.
And we have to seek to resolve that issue.
Papa Nana?
Yes, sir. 2 quick questions.
No, one. We're up on the break.
Hello?
One question.
Okay. How can you have a police man working for 15 years, work like hard, very hard, and not promoted, right? What is he doing in the force if he cannot be promoted? Is that one says at all time he cannot be promoted?
Thank you, Papa. Thank you, Papa Nana. Listen.
So we have a process for promotion. It's a transparent process. We have been put people who have been challenged in some way or another with getting promoted through training to see if they can meet the standard of the next rank. There are other people who prefer to be doing their policing on the road. As you move up the system, you're pulled further and further back from that. So even in our discussions around compensation, things like persons increasing their salaries but not necessarily being promoted is one of the features of what we've been discussing about compensation of police officers. There has to be another pathway to increase your compensation without being promoted. Promotion is about leadership and leading the people in your...
And that's in a half. You lead some people where you can't be, and you tell them, come on. You say the police them can't lead it and what have you when you put out leaders.
Charge. We're a pyramid. Everybody can't be promoted.
Finally, you have 30 seconds.
Yes.
What do you say to Jamaicans who are beginning to wonder whether you can get the job done as
You
commissioner.
can't get it done.
They're already calling for the head of your boss, the national security minister.
And team one
And
too.
they're now
If you step down.
looking at you and say, boy, I don't think this man can get the job done. What do you say to them?
I would say, hold the line, hold the faith. You have a police force that knows what they're doing. They're competent. The problem has been for a while a little larger.
They matter about you. Police force competent. You're incompetent, man. You talk
And
about
what the
you.
police force in its current state can manage in terms of overall things. We are innovating, we are incorporating new things, and we are delivering. Our officers are out there, they're doing the work. We have to do some adjustments. We have seen a flare in homicides in particular. Started last year. In this year, shooting is down, rape is down, robbery is down, break-ins are down. All other major crimes. Murder does not work like other crimes. I've been saying this all along.
But the man them are shoot accurate because shooting down, but them have more death out of the shooting. Them a see a bullet and a kill more. So them have a shoot for injury, no, them a shoot for kill. So yeah, said I'm a sick, you know, shooting down people, but the murder rate gone up. You see that? Eh? So like a man that get a little injury and him run gone with it and him alright this stuff. So me don't know what I say. Eh?
The measures you deal with for murder is
So all the other major crimes are down.
all other significantly down.
Major
Shooting is
crime?
down 16%.
Yeah.
I think rape is down 65%.
The kind of man, the man in a rape, them have their woman, them in a rape. And it's about robbing, people don't want to rob, them just take, you know, I want.
Crime is going down because of the efforts of the Jamaica Constabulary
And because
Force
the
and the
efforts,
way
man, them
and
have
the
them
technology.
people, them a joker. If you just tell me it's a laptress cabin, the most of the man them are choose scamming and them are war. That mean the man them have a bag of money. Them are walk and rob. No, it ain't go down. Them have money, real money. Them are just kill themselves. Them now miss target because the murder gone up. Where my thought no make no sense. Google you no make no sense. I say, oh, because this and that. If them have money, that means you get less robbing. Right across the board. If them have the gun and them not doing the robbing, them have try kill each other. See, them have money. Them have money. So your thought no make no sense. Them have money, and we have money, them have the girls, them with them. So the rape don't much, me say much percentage. Them have money, them have them girl, them have them thing, them just wow, we have truth and conciliation. Make them stop that little thing there. See? So you must say because this and that, because what man? 112 in 23 days.
And the way our crime officers and our detectives have been working.
Yeah,
Thank you, sir.
Murder is about gangs, criminals killing each other. I have to deal with that.
General.
Well, no, sir. I want them mash up my heavens. He mash up my heavens. Yeah, man, the great GUGU that man. Zane, that's the great GUGU. Zane, attack him thing. All right, me just go to the great GUGU. Me just move this and go to something quicker. Let me go to the next thing quicker before me knock off. Because I watch the news since night. Let me see me find it, you know. Because see where I go on since like this. Let me see if since like this. Which one of them since like me? Let me see if I hit this.
A week after the imposition of a zone.
No, another one then. Yeah.
Meanwhile, in a rare moment, the streets of downtown Kingston were flooded with police officers who were...
No, another one there. Someone, I'm going to say I can't go today. Come to the street. Oh, see that. Let me just do. See it.
Today, on the crime situation, Police Commissioner Major General Anthony Anderson and the Chief of Police Commissioner Major General Anthony Anderson and the Chief of Defense Staff, Rear Admiral Antoinette Weems Gorman, made presentations. Now, the crime figures from the Jamaica Constabulary Force show murders up by 15.5%, with one parish recording as high as a 500% increase in homicides.
Me watch the news.
The gravity of the crime wave since the start of 2022 was confirmed in the JCF's year-to-date serious crimes report, which compared crime numbers for January 1 to 23 this and last year. Of the 19 police divisions, 12 have recorded the same or more murders compared to the same period in 2021. Topping the list, Westmoreland. The division has seen a 500% increase in homicides, with 12 murders compared to 2 during the corresponding period last year. A zone of special operations was declared in parts of the division on January 16. Police Commissioner Major General Anthony Anderson said it was warranted based on last year's killings.
For 2021, Westmoreland accounted for 128 murders, an increase of 60% when compared to the corresponding period of 2020, which is the fourth highest number of murders recorded among all police divisions.
But since then, the murders have continued in other sections of the parish. The St. Catherine South Division has the second largest percentage increase, 175%, with 11 killings compared to 4 last year. But the St. James Division has the highest number of murders, overall 21. Trelawney recorded 3 killings, 2 more than last year, while Hanover has seen 2, 1 more than the corresponding period last year. The Kingston Eastern Division has seen a 50% increase in killings so far this year, moving from 6 murders over the period in 2021 to 9 this year. The Kingston Central Division, where Azoso was also set up in some parts this month, has recorded the same number of killings, 7 for the period in both years. 7 divisions have seen a reduction in murders so far this year. They include Kingston Western, 6, down from 10 last year, St. Andrew South, 8, down from 14, and St. Elizabeth, 1, compared to 4 in 2021. No murders have been recorded in Portland over the period, compared to 1 last year. In total, 112 people have been murdered so far this year, up from 97 in the same period last year. That's a 15.5% increase. At the same time, all other crimes have seen a reduction. There have been 14 fewer shooting incidents, a 65.3% reduction in reports of rape. Robberies are down 2.9%, and break-ins down 28.3%. In the meantime, 8 illegal firearms were found during a major police operation at the National Stadium East Field and in the Nannyville community. Now the search is ongoing, and as Jamila Maitland now reports, the criminals have found clever ways to conceal the guns.
Police officers at work in a section of Nannyville close to the National Stadium East Field. It's where 3 illegal firearms were found and several rounds of ammunition Monday morning. It's the second consecutive day of what Deputy Commissioner of Police in charge of crime, Fitz Bailey, is describing as an intelligence-led search of the area.
This is what you call A1 intelligence that we are seeing, and we have spoken about the hit rates, and we are getting.
Stop, big up yourself, man. Somebody just juke off and sell something and hold some money, because from it not that yes, this is what we call A1 intelligence, and this big bag. You don't go down a wharf and stop the amount of gun we know come through, that it's unbelievable. Them 3 the way you get a 5, a joke to where I come down a wharf and the amount of bullet. Yeah? Both wharf them. More weapons come in the country through the wharf them more than what come through the part some part of entry were free up. Believe it or not. There be a corruption going, you know. Yeah, man.
Better at what we do when we make reference to hit rate. This is what we are talking about. How the result after each intelligence package. And this is a classical one.
Now the operation here in certain illegal firearms in Stadium East is still on the way. And according to the police, they're not letting up. Of the 3 illegal firearms found...
Look there, at Stadium East, that right on the front part of the sun and the bill. So if a man go out there with him little thing, and bury it in the sun and a man knows, say boom bam bam, a man does say, and stay all about. Because right on the front part, there's a mountain view there, you know. So you can stay right at the front part where Lammy them live, you know, and look out there, so, you know. See? Because that's at the Stadium East wall, that, you know. See? So a man go bury him thing in this, so, in a that. See where them do some work. A man can see that long time and just say, car and just bust a little thing. We know the place, man. Yeah, man.
2 of them are hidden in construction materials like that.
Crime is not a police problem, it's everybody's business. And what you saw on this operation, the unique way and the pain that these criminals will go at to conceal their
That's enough pain. A man just put something in a little box and go bury it. So you come, I tell you not do too much TV, man. When if you just go take up the weapon and not make the man them know, because what I do is bait up some people. Them all look for everybody who living at the front and think and act and a little things. That make man, you shouldn't even do that. Just go like you buck up on something and you move something and boom, boom, or you stumble upon something, you go with bulldozer and everything, so them know to have somebody tip the tip on off and sell it. When I eat that, no sense, you know. Go with some man, make it look like when you just do normal search. And I use stick and I push tongue in the sand because of sand. And like you feel something, then you send for something. You don't know if you do things, you don't let down people. That's why some people not calling you know. Because I'm talking about intel boop bap foolishness. Right on the front part, there, so.
Weapons.
Yeah, there.
But we are prepared for it. We are prepared for the task. And as I said yesterday, this is just a foretaste of what is coming.
Yeah, there.
The other weapon was found in a section of Stadium East. The police say it's part of an assault rifle. And about 2 hours after our news team left the area, more guns were discovered. An AK-47 and an M16 rifle, as well as 65.56 cartridges. A ballistic vest was also found. On Sunday, the police found 3 guns and ammunition, including 2 magazines buried on the field. 1 person has been taken into custody in relation to the find. Meanwhile, Commissioner of Police Major General Anthony Anderson said the find brings to more than 30 the number of guns that have been found since the weekend.
Of course, there's a frustration, there's fear. So part of this is to allay some of those fears. You have all the other major crimes going down and homicide is flaring.
Then that are the dangerous crime. I bet a man got thief 2 bed fruit. And nobody now lost them life. You just step on all major crime where you think you can't play in the head. You shouldn't even the right, they say find 3 gun over 3 and gun this and 2 gun this and then in your head, boom, bam, bam. See? Them just find something a waff, dig up waff, more gonna come a waff and more bullet than anything else. We never not ask, we are telling you. I want to know too. You understand? Be a corruption. No one waff people. Waff a country and waff a town. You understand? Come to illegal waff. That stop. See? That needs to stop. And then you see, they play, they get up and they do too much this publicity stunt, you know, and PR business, yeah. And just say, yeah, man, go do something and you can rest assured. You find something in Nannyville. You don't find it about Bush. You don't find it at Rockford. You don't find it down one GX Road or nowhere at all. You don't find it at Augustown. You don't find it about the other Portmore, nothing at all. They find it there, so. You don't find it at them country places. So it's spread out all everywhere and wide. So if somebody say, okay, may I sleep nicer, so what I'm to the rest of the place then? Stop the PR stunt, man, and the police thing and know if we do anything and move things without. Yeah, show everybody boom, bam, 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 bam. Because you do that now, you know. And you leave, you know. You put some people under surveillance and all kind of things. Buy some other people, not smart. Anyway, go your PR fail. Make your failing grade here. Okay, you can get 103% plus out of 100% here. So go listen back what you say. And listen everything what you talk. Because I don't know, them just don't make no sense. Yeah? Yeah, man, them don't make nothing at all. No name, nothing. Just do something for Jamaican people and step aside. You get a couple 18 million already, step aside, you're good. Make them get a police and put the thing where understand police. Yeah? Me there, yeah? Keep it real. GUGU Gaga no easy, yeah? Me there, man. Lonesome me up. Bless up.